Hello, welcome to Shittywebcomics Weekly. God,
Oh,
subscribe star God.
get on the ball.
Get on the ball. Are you on the ball? And then Link
Are our
nods.
listeners right now on the ball?
They are. As a matter of fact, they are.
Oh, that's
We
what makes
wanted
it
to
so much
we,
better.
we wanted to do this for a long ass time. Hey, Frylock.
Yes. Yeah,
Ass.
we've been putting this off because it's like, well, yeah, I don't want to
We're
record
saving this
show.
for a rainy day. We could have gotten several episodes out of this. Not going to, though. We're going to just power through all of them in one singular recording, raw recording. It's the drugs episode. So just starting off, Chewbacca is throwing a baseball. It just says Chewbacca playing baseball isn't normal, but on meth it is. Meth. Not even once. It just, there are, of course, tons of meth, not even once. Goofy parody
Yeah, I
ads like
mean,
that.
that's been a meme for a while because those ads are stupid.
Well, like the truth.com, my anti-drug, fucking this kind of shit, that kind of shit for, decades now.
I
I
always kind
remember
of
in the
like
old comic books they
the
used to have
anti-drug
those.
ones. At the very least, with the anti-drug ones, is like, okay, I get it. You're trying to keep people from doing drugs in the first place.
So that they don't become wastoids or
But
whatever.
that
But
reefer madness shit is always just so ridiculous. It usually ends up making people want to do more drugs.
yeah, ironically, the best anti-drug shit is some of the goofy meme comics that are not even really trying to push anti-drugs. It's just like, I'm so annoyed with drug addicts.
Yeah,
And
the
that's,
Todd Berry thing. The Todd Berry thing about
yes,
white guys with dreadlocks. White guys
throw
with
those fuckers
dreadlocks
in prison. Yeah, it was about how
and torture them.
marijuana should be legal, but being a pothead should still be illegal,
Yeah,
and it will be funny seeing them get arrested. You can find that on YouTube if you want to listen to that. I'm not going to recite it from memory, though I could.
yeah.
But
I was about to recite it from memory, but it's like, wait, I'm just tired of sitting here. Let's move on.
here is I think I'm pretty sure this might be the first ever the troll face thing is sirens and then guys smoking in the car saying we're fucked, and then one guy says it'll be okay, just put on your cool face. So the fucking he puts on the La Ebin troll face, the meme, which I think either this is what this is from or
No,
it's a
I'm pretty
reference
sure this
to
is
the
after.
actual.
I'm
The
pretty sure this
original
is after
is,
Trollface.
well, the troll face was basically from a comic like
Yeah,
that.
compared to now, this would have been like the same year,
Yeah. But he says,
which is
with his
probably why
troll
it's
face, he
there.
says, problem officer. And the cop just goes,
Well,
get the fuck out of here. And then last panel is just zoomed in troll face. Um, and I remember that guy had a DeviantArt and he actually told the story and explained he made this comic where it was the troll face and it became popular and it was actually based off of this other facial expression he saw in this other drawing, that kind of stuff. I remember that. Hwynn or so, it was WHYNNE, I think was the guy's account name. So you could probably still find him and look that stuff up. And we could do an episode about that, but we're not going to
you might be
ever.
able to still find them. Who the
Yeah,
fuck knows?
good luck, fucker. But anyways, yeah, just the next one. I fucking hate high school. Sober, that is, and it's just like sober, unhappy face, blah blah blah, and then Ritalin, happy face. This shit is so fucking interesting. Drugs are good, kids, which is unironically how parents raised children throughout the entire 90s. When people talk about like the 90s were so good, it was the 90s were so good because everyone was doped up on Ritalin and Prozac, whether you needed it or
And they were
not.
too young to realize that it was going to ruin their lives.
Yes. Here is another one with the troll face. It says, "Get a jar, scoop tablespoons of salt in." It's a recipe, but the second panel says, "Add ammonia and bleach into the jar," which it says, "Add some pennies to the bottom." As you add the pennies, quickly blow on the pennies with a straw to make bubbles. Grats, you have successfully made a motherfucking kick-ass crystal. The joke is, when you add ammonia and bleach at all ever, it turns into poisonous gas that will kill you.
I think
That
it's
is
mustard gas.
poisonous mustard gas. It might be, yes. I don't know. We're just remembering
It's the same thing,
the
though.
reference
It's
to the
lethal.
wonderful classic Joe
If
Dirt.
anyone doesn't understand that much about chemistry, first off, I don't know shit about chemistry, and I know that.
Yeah, ammonia and bleach turns into poisonous gas. Here, the next one, annual deaths, tobacco, 435,000, poor diet, exercise, 365, alcohol, 85,000. 85, only 85,000, that's not much. Prescription drugs, motor vehicle, blah, 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 homicide, aspirin, peanuts, 100. Then marijuana, 0. Again, it's like, pot is so good, but it just, the line at the bottom makes me laugh because it says marijuana, safer than peanuts. And it's just like, just trashing peanuts out of nowhere.
Just
Take that,
destroying
peanuts.
What
Here
the
is
fuck, marijuana. What the fuck, you potheads? You can't say that, even though it's completely true. Also,
this one maybe is a little too small to read for if you're watching this on the video, but I will read it. It's sort of a Scott Pilgrim style, but it says Octopus Pie Theater presents You'd Think They'd Be Fun to Get High With, but They're Not. And the first panel is billionaires. And one guy says, what do pizzas cost? $80. Is that line secure? There's some swan in the fridge, dude. An actual swan? I don't know. Or leftover swan. You're hungry? Just have some leftover swan because they're billionaires. The next one says screenwriters. And one guy's just saying, no, shut up, okay? Gandhi's clone fighting vampires on Saturn. Oh, I hate them already. The next panel, traveling circus performers. And a guy saying, I was on the trapeze that whole show, if you know what I mean. Heh. Oh, that was the bearded lady saying that. And then a clown saying, I'm clown carring this shit, bro. Just, what is he talking about with weed? Is that some kind of weed reference? The next one says porn stars, and one girl saying, "Yeah, I figure another 10 double pens, and I can remodel my bathroom." And then another says, "Oh, your bathroom's cute." It's like in the middle of all this is the self-insert girl who's just sitting there, kind of confused and puzzled and annoyed by all of this behavior. But the next panel says, ancient Egyptian royalty. And there's an ancient Egyptian there saying, you guys ever wonder if, like, we're just part of some, I don't know, bigger dynasty? The self-insert girl is just looking really fucking annoyed there for some reason. And then finally we get to elves, and there's an elf saying, the girl's eating an apple, and the elf says, good, no, we harvested it from the golden hills of Emure. The last panel is just the girl saying, fucking elves. Oh, wait, she might not be eating an apple, she might be smoking an apple bong, I think, because there's smoke coming out of her mouth.
Oh.
So just... It's kind of just a cute comic that's, in a way, anti-weed. Who would have thought?
Anti-drug, anti-weed.
Yes. Here is a photograph of like 15 dogs. Several of them are collies, I think. Dogs. But the text over the image says, drugs don't expand your mind. There is no such thing as ego death. All of your epiphanies on hallucinogens are fake. You'll never get those brain cells back. And then at the bottom of all of it in bigger text, it says, art school was a waste of money. Again, lots of good messages in these.
Really great observation.
Beautifully stayed on the album. Here's a Shadow the Hedgehog, the eggiest of them all, of course, saying, men buying weed seems kinda gay. You sure do give that dude a lot of your money for some sticky plant you say you don't even need. Are you sure he's not your boyfriend? Oh, he gives you a good deal? Why would he do that? Is he your boyfriend? I can't believe his Shadow's homophobic. Here's
He's homophobic and he hates druggies.
it as you know, those things do tend to go hand in hand. Here is like a big cup or something with circles in it, and the circles say dependent, incoherent, lazy, confused, getting dumber. And the big, huge cup says stereotypes about drug users anyone can see are obviously true. And then a guy next to it smoking a joint with a gigantic brain in his transparent head. And he says, okay, but I am the one exception to all this. And
Wow,
he's got,
literally me.
yes, underneath him it says enlightened drug user. Oh. Um, Here's alcohol discourse, and it's like Holding Skull, Joker, from the movie, fucking.
I was gonna say, actually, I was thinking it was the smartest men in the universe, Chads, and then
Well,
the
no,
fucking
yeah, it's fucking men sipping wine, James Bond having a martini, muscular fit Wojaks, Michelangelo, fucking Leonardo DiCaprio in The Great Gatsby. Uh, but for some reason at the bottom, fucking not Mo, but who is the alcoholic? The fullest, blownest alcoholic from fucking The Simpsons was Barney.
yeah.
And like just a picture of somebody holding a drink in front of a fireplace and fucking Galaxy Brain and all this shit. Oh, there's also Quint from Jaws drinking a beer. And also the gigantic brain, brain so huge he's using it as a chair Wojak while also holding a drink. And that's alcohol discourse. Then next to it is stoner discourse, and it's white guy with dreadlocks, Black Lives Matter, fedora or trilby. I think it's important to know the difference.
Even
Reddit
though I don't know the
moment.
difference, and I also don't care.
Rick and Morty, a gay pride flag, just that kind of shit.
Just the worst things ever.
The worst things ever. Here's a very old one. It's a guy sitting at his thing while smoking a joint, and he's going to abovetheinfluence.com, and it says on the site, it says reality check, marijuana is illegal, and just gradually zooming in on the guy's face and the fucking reality check thing as he's more and more panicked. And then the last one, this marijuana is illegal, and reality check is like exploding his monitors, like flying back. Whoa, marijuana is illegal. Here's one not really related. This is I forgot the guy's name, I forgot the webcomic's name, but it was like the we want a place for our own, and fucking we want to this, and it's just fucking flamethrowing them, blasting them, like fuck off. You know, a lot of edits of that. It's whoever did that comic, but he did this one where it's a walrus holding a phone saying, call all your ex-girlfriends. And the guy saying, not now, am being a walrus. I'm trying to lose my car keys. He's holding his car keys toward a window.
Yeah, he's losing his car keys in a way that he will not find them
Yes.
for a very long time.
The most important thing is to make sure you never find them again.
It's
You'll
not
be
just,
checking
"Oh,
the
it's in my
freezer
pocket."
before you go outside to look for
Yeah.
them.
It wasn't just in your pocket, and it wasn't
Yes.
just also in the other fucking usual place. It wasn't on the key hook.
Here's kind
It
of a
wasn't in
classic.
the knob. It wasn't in your pants.
The knob should be the first place you check. The knob, your pants, or your fucking coat.
Although it should never be in the knob, because all somebody has to do is walk up to your house, and now they have your house keys.
Now they have all of your keys,
as
but
well
anyways,
as your key fob and other keys for other important things.
Next one is guy, red-eyed, stick figure. In fact, the stick figure actually really adds to the composition of this. The first panel is just, yep, pretty baked. And second, thinking of a shower, going, are showers any good when you're high? And then only one way to find out. And the last panel is the stick figure in a fully, like, colorful photograph of like a waterfall out in a forest, a very
It's
placid
it's
little
some
waterfall.
tranquil, peaceful waterfall. It's like
Yes.
tropical waterfall.
And the contrast of the stick figure with the photograph actually really helps cement what the point of this is that it's that good, like it's transcendental
Yeah, because
shower.
he's melting into it. Honestly, it's probably better than that in real life.
It's also funny because
Nice
it
warm
actually makes a funny
shower.
point. That's the real reason why I want to go over it, because there are probably other comics that are like Weed is so good but they're not funny, but these again are kind of, they make a point in kind of a funny way. Here is another one. This one's kind of long, so it's just like a couple guys. One is like, I think, British flag shirt, and I think the other one's French. It's like, dude, that was a great meal. Yeah, they're in a coffee shop. And so one guy goes, are you enjoying your time in the Netherlands? And it's like, are you kidding me? I love it here. You mind going for a walk? They're rolling a joint. They're walking around. And it's just like two really high guys in one big city. It's like, let's check out this dark alley. I wonder what's in there. And it's two gigantic escalators with like red and green lights on them. An escalator out of fucking
Yeah.
nowhere. And then the remaining panels of the entire rest of this is they go up the escalator, then down, smoke a joint up the escalator, and down and up, and then smoking a joint, and then passing it while one goes up the escalator and the other goes down. And then it's just starts splitting into like up, down, and a bunch of like balls and dots of the two
I remember this comic
fucking
actually. And yeah,
panels.
it's drawn like that's basically the style of like British cartoons.
Yeah, it's just at the end, then it's just two of them are like sort of freaky-eyed, red-eyed. They look ecstatic, and along the bottom in purple text it just says "smoke weed." It's like that was the whole point. It also says February 2010, very tiny in the lower left. That's how
And that
old
is
this is.
yeah, it's very old, but also makes you want to smoke weed.
Amazing. Yeah, you know, it's doing a good job of selling me on it, and I don't want to smoke weed and I'm not going to, but doesn't that look fun? It actually sells the experience
Yeah, it
visually,
sells the
which is
experience
interesting
way
because it's
better
really
than
hard to sell a mental headspace kind of thing.
having to listen to other fucking people try and sell you on weed. Usually doesn't do that good of a job.
No, never. But somehow that one, and again, I don't like smoking weed. I'm not going to do it anymore. But that is like reading that is like I would like to have that experience, and I kind of understand it. Here is Christians for Michelle Bachman. It's like a fake kind of meme, but it's like, if medical marijuana is safe, then why did it turn mom into a juggalo? And she's like sitting at her couch with a walker, and she's got the face paint on. While in the foreground, I think is maybe her somewhat old daughter, too, looking really annoyed, just sitting there like, ugh. I guess that's the point of that. Here is again similar vibes from one of the previous, from the escalator one. Here is me 14 moved from Cali to NC, North Carolina, I guess. Sad and friendless. Day 4 of school, and then here is bro pointing, just arrow pointing at the sky. It says bro. He's saying, yo,
Oh.
dog, I hear you're from Cali, dog. That shit have bomb ass bud. Yo, dog, you smoke, bro. Aw, shit, dog, you smoke that fine ass Cali weed. Damn, bro, you smoke, 'cause not enough people here smoke. And then the guy says, and it says lie in parentheses above him talking. He says, yeah, I've smoked before, but it didn't really do anything for me. Underneath that, it says, interestingly enough, his talking is in type, but his thoughts are in handwriting. And it says, actually, a weed virgin under that in handwriting. And the other guy goes, oh, shit, Nig, you just doing it wrong. And so, like, dragging him off, and then, gentlemen, start your engines, with like several joints in his mouth all at once. This is what is this? I don't even And then the next part, feel anything, shit's overrated, and as like a bunch of colors are coming out of his body, and then
That reminds me of the what was it?
whoa.
Opie and Anthony when Anthony was talking about
Yeah, Anthony had that story
smoking
about
weed
the
for the
first time
first
he
time.
smoked weed. Like he comes out of the shit. Like he had what a one joint or two or something. He's like he decides to smoke the whole thing to get the opening phase out of it because the first time you smoke weed, traditionally nothing happens. With most people, the first time you ever smoke it, you don't actually get high. And then it's usually not until the second or maybe third time. I think usually the second, your body kind of recognizes it and turns it into a drug. But just like here he is, he's having the experience like World War II soldier with a flamethrower, but the flamethrower's shooting a rainbow that curves back around underneath a giant ice cube with a smiley face and fucking like planes flying and exploding and shooting and just goofy happy face fucked up police kick out the jams. And then for some reason fucking Wacko from Animaniacs with a big like weird
Because smoking
swirly
weed is so much fun.
rainbow.
You get to meet your favorite cartoon characters.
Yes, you're now in the cartoon. You might be the cartoon. That's just the
You're
whole
inside
point.
of the cartoon now.
Yeah, here's next. Just another comic now. Again, I'm just a
You are
big grab bag
you
of
are
random.
cartoons.
Yes, you are cartoons, but pipes. Time to look at pipes. And there's like, oh my god, awesome. It's like classic looking pipe. It's very rudimentary drawing, of course. But like wallet, no money. Drive for 2 weeks to buy it. Pipes at last, dank shit, yay, weed. And so he fucking, loads up the pipe with weed and then hits it. And then he turns into Gandalf, basically. It's just the last panel, very simply drawn with, you can tell the fill tool, it's just not even used properly. But he's just wizard hat, staff, and pipe. It's like the pipe somehow changed the experience, even though it really didn't. He's just high. And again, it's kind of sells it. It's like, wow, that looks pleasant and fun.
I actually got a Gandalf pipe, and it's
Yeah,
basically called.
you actually
They're
do
gonna
have
call
one.
it the Gandalf pipe.
You're the one who smukes. But here's the next comic: is My Night,
I don't
and
know
it's
if
like,
did I mention that part where it says like I quit smoking years and years ago. I had a bad experience. I used to smoke a lot, and then I had a bad experience. It's like I need to just quit smoking.
I
I'm
also,
gonna quit
yeah,
smoking.
I actually have a lot of pleasant and fond memories of smoking weed. It's like the Strangers with Candies. Like, if you're gonna get high, be prepared to spend a lot of time laughing with your friends. It's like, oh no, that's not anti-selling it.
That's the worst message you could have ever sent to anyone because it's
Yes,
gonna make it seem like it's okay.
it was a great show. The only good thing Stephen Colbert has ever been involved in.
Yes,
Here's
and I'm
though.
sure he had nothing to do with it. In fact,
Yeah,
fought against making the show.
yes. The but anyways, yeah, both of us like used to smoke weed, and then we both of us
I
went
remember
off
we
at
were like 14.
like bad panic. It wasn't the paranoia either, because I remember having the paranoia a few times, and it's something that you could just sort of you would eventually just your attention would just turn to something else and you'd forget that you were trying to breathe manually or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, I'm gonna forget how to breathe. I can't feel the bottom of my lungs. And it's
When
like, oh wait, that's normal.
you forget to breathe manually.
But
It's
what happened
basically.
was like after a couple of years, I I got like fucking a realistic depiction of a panic attack. I don't fucking know what it doesn't matter. It just I got some effect from it that I knew was different and it put me off weed. And to be honest,
It might have been
ever
dusted
since
and we
then, for the
didn't
past
know.
like 20 years, that's never changed. Every time I try and smoke weed,
Yeah,
it makes me anxious beyond my control. And it's not just the paranoia. It's not just the fear because I've been in complete comfort in fucking in private and all that stuff in a good situation, nice and warm and medicated and in my zone or whatever the fuck. A pig in a cage on antibiotics, whatever
I
the
mean,
fuck.
I used to be able to smoke just giant amounts, and that's what I would do. I just smoke as much as I possibly could, uh, usually until I was actually high, and then after a while,
Until
it was
you're
like
high.
I started to get stressed.
It was yeah, no, it was something else for me.
I
And
mean, I wouldn't overdo it, but I would like reach my limit. It's like, oh, that
no,
was
yeah,
really
it wasn't that. It was like the idea that my throat wasn't closing and that I was going to just choke on my own drool. And even when I knew I wouldn't, like I fucking actually had these bizarre, it wasn't a feeling, it was like my actual, I actually did start to. I was like, this is just, it's the paranoia. This is nothing. And it wasn't going away though. In fact, it kept getting worse, even when, whether I smoked or stopped. And so I was like, okay, this is something else. And I just quit. And again, that was a long time ago. And I have had a few hits like in the past couple of years now that it's just legal in a bunch of states, including here. But I just every time it's like, okay, no, this is not having the effect it should. And it's like, I don't need this. You know what gives me the exact effect that I want that it should? Alcohol. And that's all I need. Although fucking just
alcohol discourse.
weed just does, yeah, exactly. Weed does not fucking wear me out the same way. It doesn't wear you out. It doesn't wear anyone out. But so yeah, that's just some of our
The thing that
history.
I've
So we
really
do have
discovered
some
though is
history
I
with
have been
actual
smoking a bit
weeds.
more now. I've rediscovered smoking. I'm
Yeah,
like
again,
trying
now
to
that it's
find a
legal, it's like,
balance
well,
where it's
it's
possible to smoke. And
I
one
can
thing I
just try
realized
it.
is if you get drunk and then you also smoke, kind of takes the edge off both simultaneously and
Yeah,
is a whole new thing.
I always thought it would be a bad combination or an unnecessary combination, but most of the time that I've fucking had a few hits the past year was when I'm drunk, and to be honest, it's not bad. In fact, it is a little pleasant, and it's like this is kind of what I wanted, but I'm also like just not functional
I
anymore.
mean,
I'm not even drunk
the
functional.
simple fact is overdoing it for anything. I mean, we know what it's like to want to sustain just underneath throwing up.
Yeah,
You want
the
to
magic
avoid getting
quotient.
it to that point, but you want to keep drinking.
Yeah, the sustain point. That's it's hard to
So
maintain,
what we
especially
do is
with
like we get beers
booze.
to taper off with, and I'd
Yeah,
start mixing really thin mixes, so I could just keep drinking over and over.
and it's like I don't need to drink alcohol if I just drink something that I can even pretend psychologically is mixing or with the alcohol or something. Just give me something to sip. How about a nice soda? So whatever. But here the next comic. There's a few left. This one just says my night, and it's like three guys sitting around like playing video games and smoking weed. And here's me is the guy playing video games and says,
This is the
"Oh
one where
fuck,
he's playing Call of Duty and just looks like some footage from actual
no,
TV.
it's like a bicycle or something on the TV." He goes, "Oh fuck, man, I crashed. Get the fuck back on. Get on the motorbike." He's probably playing GTA then. The other two guys are like past the
Actually, I think it
bong man.
might. Well, I guess I was going to say maybe it's the fucking Dark Acts Part Two,
I don't know, but
Call
the
of Duty
bicycle,
Dark
most
Acts.
likely it's the fucking it looks like it's San Andreas. Well, you can't really tell, but San
Might
Andreas
be an
had the
Excite Bike for
bicycles.
all I know.
Yeah, it could be Excite
I
Bike.
can't tell.
Yeah, no. You're not really supposed to, but the other two guys, one guy saying pass the bong man, and then I'm not finished, okay. You're bong camping, bro. Look, just I'm not okay, I'm not done. Man, pass it. And then the next panel is just the guy, pass the bong man, pass me the bong, pass the bong man. Just like different sizes of the text all just overlapping over each other. And then other dude, I haven't even taken a hit yet. Calm down. Okay. And then, oh, what? My bad. Hey, do you guys mind if some of my friends come over a bit? And then just, for some reason, in like faint text, friends, 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 friends. Soon the friends arrive, and guy backwards hat, sup, Mang. I brought some girls. Hope that's all good with you, bros. One is regular girl, and one is fat girl, of course. Fat girls, it smells like weed in here. I know, lol. Meanwhile, inside my head, okay,
Instant
uninvited
buzz, like
people.
instant ball and chain.
Yes. Instant bummer. Okay, uninvited people, that's cool, I guess. They brought their own weed, it's no problem. They might be cool people, who knows? I think I know that girl. She used to be in my old class. Yeah, this will be okay. She seemed nice. I'll just make some conversation soon. And what the fuck are they staring at? What the fuck? And then just over the close up on eyes, the eyes are saying, why are they staring? And the girl's lol 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 look how high he is, lol. He keeps crashing on his motorbike game. Why does he giggle every time he crashes, lol? And then inside my head, over the course of 10 minutes, why are they looking at me? I wonder if she'll tell someone, I know that I'm high, sheesh. Whose hit is it? What if she talks to my mom? God damn it, this game is hard, lol. She doesn't even know my mom. What the fuck are they staring at? She just, I get just the weed scatterbrain,
The
which
thousand
is an
miles a
aspect
minute.
most people don't admit to. When it comes to
Yeah,
weed, most people never talk about that. It's just like you're thinking calmly and rationally about like 80 different things simultaneously. Maybe
that
that
can be
rewired our
painful.
brains. That's why we're always derailing the way we are. But it's just close
Yeah,
up on him. He looks kind of annoyed. And then, oh wait, they left. Dude, Vin and the chicks weren't here long. They were here half an hour, you cock nugget, says the other guy. They smoked their whole stash, man.
which
What?
of
No
course
way.
is exactly also one of the other effects of being high is losing track of time very easily.
Yeah, that one's a little more known as like time. Interestingly enough, the more fun you're having, time passes slower, oddly enough. But he says, no way, man. I only started playing PS3. And he says, you stopped playing 10 minutes ago. I said, what am I holding? It's the sandwich we made you when you stared at the girls. Are you feeling all right? At the bottom, no picture or anything. The bottom panel is just text in all caps saying, and it was the best goddamn sandwich ever made. That
That's
is a
another
very
thing.
typical weed story,
That's
because that's
something
all
everyone
that
knows that
happens when you're
about
on
weed
weed, is
smokers.
that.
Everyone knows that about weed smokers is that they love snacks
They
because
love
usually what
snacks.
happens is you get stoned and then you eat something and it's the most delicious shit on the planet.
Like kind of the way your mouth and throat dries out too makes it sort of a little better, but it sort of activates like a hunger sense almost
Yeah,
always. Well, then again, you
that's why they
usually,
recommended it. They want to make it legal because it's a more effective method of getting people's appetites up when they have chemotherapy,
yeah, which they realize it did work. So, and
as well as a whole bunch of other medical minor medical issues.
here, this next one's good. Is what stoners claim to be in his sunglasses, joint in mouth, peace and love, man, peace and love, and then what stoners really are, and it's fucking gigantic head, crazy eyes. You don't smoke weed, lol, fag, grow some balls, 420, blaze it, smoke weed every day, one love. Just annoying while holding a bong. The other person they're kind of yelling at just looks vaguely concerned. Clearly, the rational, cool, good, calm, correct person.
Looking at the
This,
person holding a baby over a pit.
yeah, this one's classic. It's like here,
Right?
coughing, try some troll face, handing a joint to somebody labeled me way back in the day, and the joint is just it says possibly just some dirty, dry brown. And then the next panel is them coughing a giant cloud with fucking skull and crossbones, just miserable. And then the next panel is a tingles as they sort of their eyes are getting a little red, and then fucking like first person view where everything is like they're going Super Saiyan and like the breeze and clouds and aura and shit.
That's also another big thing is the first. I'm going to first person. Whoa, the mind blowing
They're
power of
going into
first person
VR
view.
mode or some shit. But here's their fucking Super Saiyan aura with swirling leaves around them as they float. And the guy next to him saying, dude, come on, I told you 3 times already. We're all going to walk to see a movie. Let's start now. It's a few miles away. And he goes, wait, what? Blink. And then he's there. And he's like, hey, man, great idea sneaking in to see this. Good thing we stopped to grab sodas along the way. And he's in the chair at the theater, like surprised that he's suddenly there. And it says, yeah, but you're totally spacing out, but you didn't even realize it took 2 hours to walk. Haha. It's starting, and then Angelina Jolie with her giant tits staring at him in the theater, and suddenly he's laying back on a giant cloud with like soda and popcorn, and then it's the sort of used to be one of the old emoji meme faces that is sort of long ago forgotten, sort of the eyes rolled back, happy open mouth D smiley, not XD, but just regular D.
Regular D smiling. I think they
And
used to
that's
call
it.
it awful face on fucking
Yeah.
whatever that I think it was something awful or Reddit.
That was the whole comic. Of which that one not exactly realistic, but I think they were trying to capture the mood, the idea of
I think it was pretty
smoking weed.
effective at capturing the mood.
It did, yeah, it did do that, but at the same time, you don't really black out on weed. You just kind of realize that you've done something already when it's like, did I do this already? And you kind of realize that retroactively, though.
I mean, you usually will space out also.
There's
I usually
there's an
space
element
out.
of that, but it's not like real blacking out. It's not like you lose your memories. Um, here is a guy, red eyes, driving his car, and then the next one is like a cop car next to them, and he's just suddenly sweating like shit, and it says they know. And the last panel is just super close up on beady red eyes. It just says they know. And that again, that's paranoia. That's just basic paranoia.
Classic paranoia.
Mhm.
Paranoia classic.
Here is one of the last ones. I'm leaving off on the best one at the last one, but here's this. My van 2 a.m. This QP looks fucking awesome. I guess that means quarter pounder. I don't know. Quarter pounder can look. They can make a really good quarter pounder, especially when you're high. But the next panel is just police with sirens. Oh shit! And then fuck. Only God can save me now. And 5 minutes later, your buddy is on probation. We need to search the car. It's this car full of weed. Cop, me and my friend. And then
Gee,
like
thanks a lot, friend.
and then
Good
like
job,
reaching
friend,
for the
being
door handle, and then 90 miles an hour Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Oh, another car blasts
yeah.
past them, blasting rap music. There's some guy leaning out the window yelling at them and the cops saying Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. I guess it is like God saved them by sending this dope out there. And so
This
the cops
utter
just go,
end.
yeah, the cops just go, or the cop goes, you kids have a nice night. And again, here's the awesome face emoji on both of them. And at the bottom it says, and so that night I not only discovered there was a God, but that he drove a Trans Am and listened to the Wu-Tang Clan. I didn't know that. Who would have
That
thought?
is kind of a based story.
Basted with red sauce placed for plants pills, messing up the way a fella talks. Here is my favorite one. Um, it just starts with him. It just says "rip" as he's hitting a bong, giant bong rip, and then the second panel is pause as he holds it in, of course, which is something that people used to do to try to maximize the economy of the smoke. Now weed is so prevalent, you can be wasteful with it.
Yeah, I basically got in the habit of trying not to be wasteful with it. But I think also there
But
are
you can
people
be.
out there who don't care.
It's so fucking cheap these days. It's insane. It's like fucking you can
Yeah.
get like $200 or $300 worth of weed for like $20 in like a disposable vape THC oil cart thing. It's
Which I'm actually
rechargeable.
going to say, I think I prefer to regular smoking now. It's like
Vaping is
more
so good.
mild. It seems to
Dude,
hit less
I
hard.
vape.
And I romp, I dab, I vape, I spin.
We
We
are the
are the
voice of a new
future,
generation.
Grandpa.
Did we ever show that? I think I think we did show that on a
I have no
fucking.
idea. I don't think
We
so.
should have. Maybe we didn't. You know what? Who cares? But now we never will. I don't care. Why don't
Who
you just
even
follow us on Discord, or just follow us, or just look at the things we look at? Why don't you do that? Then you don't have to do anything else ever again. But here, he blows out the hit, and it's like, all goofy shapes and shit. And it's like stomach grumbling, munchies, feed me Taco Bell, asshole. Put Taco Bell inside of me, you want Taco Bell. And then it's like squiggly arms as he's sort of like almost floating on the sidewalk. It's just like a strip of bacon floating in front of him saying, I am bacon. It says walking to Taco Bell. And then standing at drive-through, try herp dong $4.99, Baco tell herp and derp and flurp derp and ding dong and kids meal. And then burrito. And then it's just like 157.1353.523, just fucking shit. And then the speaker in the next panel says, welcome to Taco Derp. Can I take your order? And they say, of course, it says, this is 100% is completely true. And it says, yeah, I'll take a girl stuff bacon burtango with bacon, please. Also, a scene a minute twisty, extra bacon, and I'll have some bacon, please. Widdly scuds, question mark. And then the speaker's quiet, and then the guy's standing there. And then the speaker's quiet, and the guy's standing there. And then the speaker says, Widdly scuds. And then the guy's standing there, and the guy says, what? That is very weed. And it says, later parking lot.
Weed, especially bacon on weed.
Yes. The most perfect.
Some bacon, extra bacon plus some bacon.
Girl stuffed. I like that lived so rent free in my head that even the incorrect version, where I thought he said skiddly winks, and then I found the comic again and he says Widdly scuds, and I was like, I was saying that wrong the whole time. Stone sober.
I think that was from something else. Skiddly winks. I have from some.
No fucking clue, but later
whatever it is, I don't remember what, but I remember hearing that before.
He's sitting in the parking lot though, and just sitting in the parking lot as he unwraps his burrito, whatever. It says, it's beautiful, and the word beautiful is in all multicolor, like a rainbow. And then Trump as he eats it, and then he's a single tear. Are you one of those single tear people? As he's floating in the rainbow, as it says, OMFG, bacon paradise. That is it.
And is also, it's what I think of when I think of bacon, especially if it's done correctly.
Yes. Even, again, stone sober, if they do the bacon right, if I just have one piece of bacon and it's nice and crispy, I just think, bacon paradise. That's all you need. You don't have to be high at all. I mean, I guess it helps. Again, this comic kind of sells it. I guess it sells the experience. And I think that is interesting because, again, it's like describing what it's like to be on weed, man. I don't think it's effective as these comics. These comics actually do it better than words can do. And so I think that's great. I would say the only other best sort of description of what it's like on weed, and probably maybe more like on heroin, is the song Monkey Man by the Rolling Stones, which I'm not even gonna say it's the best song. It's a song that like describes the experience musically, not the lyrics. Don't listen to the words, man, but the music itself, especially like the solo later in, it's great. That kind of is more of a weed song than a heroin song, I would say, in my opinion. I've never done heroin, never done morphine, never. I might have accidentally smoked opium one time when I was a teenager and at a big weed party. I think they had some opium. Maybe it was in a joint when I smoked or something. But I just remember Fat by Weird Al came on TV at like 2 in the fucking morning. Like, why are they playing this? But I was laughing so hard I hurt myself. And then we all got in a car and drove around like a big empty kind of woods area while listening to Slayer really loud. And I was like, cool.
Totally awesome.
Wonderful. OMFG Slayer Paradise and Weird Al Paradise. Amish Paradise, you could even say.
That's exactly, that should be what it was. This is Amish Paradise.
Yes. Anyways, I think Amish Paradise had been out around that time, but it was just they just suddenly out of nowhere. I think it was Al TV. It was on MTV and they were just playing an episode of Al TV or something. I don't know why, but it was at like 2 in the morning. And it was like, oh, it was just perfect. And it was just and I was just so stupidly laughing. It was like the beginning of the video where he just starts inflating and he looks like weirdly angry, and the black guys are like, whoa, they're recoiling in surprise. And I just was start laughing so fucking hard. It wasn't that funny, but I was just, it is funny. That video is great. That video is funny. It's a great song. Better than the original, perhaps. It's weird. The beginning of that video is a parody of the full 20-minute Martin Scorsese, like little movie-lit version of Bad by Michael Jackson with fucking Wesley Snipes and shit, and the whole story of like he's coming back from his prep school and they're kind
Weird
of
Al
making fun
version
of him and
also
shit.
does some of that, but it's so much more succinct because it just
He
kind of
clearly
cuts to
saw
them
the
meeting
whole
in the
thing.
subway. Yes.
It's fucking great. I especially love they're like shoving a chick witch in Weird Al's face and like, eat this, it's good for you. And of course,
just pulling like an entire hamburger, a giant full slice of pizza.
One guy pulls an entire slice of pizza
jacket.
out of his jacket pocket. Yeah, but the other, of course, the other guy who goes ding dong, yo, just fucking that guy.
Ding dong, yo, ding dong,
ding dong, yo, just fucking. I'm not really hungry right now. Yo, eat this. Good for you. Like, they're sinister. They're the bad guys. And then he starts inflating, and they're like, oh no, we bit off more than we can chew with this one. Look,
just
like we thought he wasn't fat.
The original actual video for Bad.
That's great.
The lesson of the movement of the video.
Yeah, I actually, the video for Bad is funny too, because it's kind of intense where they want Michael Jackson hunts up homeboy. They want him to like pick somebody to rob. We've got victims waiting for this, like Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is one of the most underrated actors in history, by the way. He's unironically a great actor. And it's like he should win an Oscar. He should get an Oscar for something, or even just for nothing. They should just give him one. He was in fucking Demolition Man. They should give him an Oscar for that.
He dodged taxes, so give him an Oscar just for that.
Just for that. But he's really good in the full video of Bad, because he is intimidating. He's also very dark, of course. But I mean, like, he's got this. He is intense because
intimidating.
Because he's like, yo, man, you went down with us, and it's a little goofy, it's a little cheesy, but a million times more where Michael Jackson's like, you ain't bad, you ain't nothing. And then all of a sudden, 20 dancers jump out of the immaterium next to Michael Jackson. And it's like, oh shit, Wesley Snipes, you just fucked up. His backup dancers are here now. It's just, it's great.
Bob Fosse routine at you. Look out.
Sometimes when I get really, really drunk, I will just go watch that entire video. When I'm like catatonic drunk, I'll go watch the full version of Bad.
While listening to it in the headphones.
Yeah, of course. And sometimes then I'll go listen to Fat and then go back again. It's just like, oh man, look out his dance. Look out, they're all on fleek. They're just fucking, it's just wonderful. I've never done that on weed, though. You ever look at a $20 bill on weed? Anyways. So
you ever look at the stars on weed? It's a trip.
It's beautiful.
It's the best role that fucking John Stupid has ever had.
John Leibowitz Stewart.
Stupid.
Gay. Wait, that's not good. That's not a good derisive name. Who cares? Anyway, so this pretty much the last episode we're ever going to record. The final episodes we already have recorded. There is one last one. We have to do a lot of research and homework to do the last video we're going to record, but that one's going to be like episode 249. So that's coming up. I better be prepared. We're both kind of we're getting there. We got a few months to make it, so that's good. It's work though. This has always been work. This has always been more work and brain juice and
Yeah, and I resent it.
intellect.
I don't want to. I don't want that. I want the
You
other
know.
thing. I want to make comics. Buy our comics. Support our comics.
I wanted balloons with happy faces. But yeah, the best thing to support is the actual honest creators. Oh, there. The actual honest creators out there who have been telling you the truth that nobody else wanted you to hear. So if you want to support that, the best way is to go buy the comics. Go read Iconic Comics. Go read King Wolf Comics. Support the actual real indies, not the fake indies that most of you have been duped into supporting and being pay pigs for, the same way that most of you previously had been duped into supporting people like Nick Ricada. Now you're supporting the other people like Nick Ricada if you're not supporting us. If you are supporting us, then you are doing the opposite of that thing I just said, which is a good thing now. But if you aren't, you are a bad person. You are immoral. God, I just got a call from Jesus. Bring, hello, Jesus. They're all going to hell if they don't subscribe to our Subscribe Star now. Well, you heard it here first, and only here. So go
from man.
$5.
The
Go
word has
donate.
come in.
Yeah, why not? First of all, why not? Pascal's wager is very true. Why not donate $5 to not be sent to hell? I mean, sounds like a good idea to me.
You send $10, you'll be doubly protected.
Yes, exactly. And for everyone else, won't be seeing you in hell. We don't want heaven crammed because you should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.